Do you think that Orgasmo got unfairly rated? Because I've heard Matt and Trey talk about how they were kind of the underdog filmmakers. When they had a major film studio behind them, they were given more notes, they were able to cooperate. So, could you talk us through what happened once Orgasmo was finished? Then you took it to the rating system. What was
Yeah.
that? What was going on there?
So when Orgasmo was complete, we took it to the film festivals, and amazingly, at the Toronto Film Festival, it got picked up for distribution by October Films and Rogue Pictures, which was huge and exciting for us. And then we took it to get its rating, where we were hoping for an R rating. And of course, we got slapped with the NC-17 rating, which was hugely frustrating. It's like we thought we could overcome, but it's a kiss of death for theatrical, because you can't advertise. There's all these restrictions around NC-17. You can't really market an NC-17 movie in a traditional way at all. And so,
Is that because they're treating it like porn?
Yeah, I mean, because we were using real porn stars and sending up the porn industry, it was definitely hitting extra buttons, and so because of that, we wanted to make it as a wholesome a film as possible. I mean, it's like, if you look at the story, it's actually like a wholesome story. The main character sort of stays true to his personal morals and perseveres and fights for good, like Birth of a Batman or a superhero kind of story. But of course, with this ridiculous setting, so we were extra careful. I think we just really learned the hard way about like what you're able to get away with in animation and what you're able to get away with in live action. And just like to me, the sad reality is just that, like, with live action, you can only get away with violence. Like, you can do the most violent shit. Like, I even just I was just thinking about this yesterday. I'm like, there's a billboard right now for the new Aliens release, and it's got like the spider alien character, like, just like hugging somebody's face. And it's just like the most like horrible piece of imagery. I'm driving down the street and I got young kids, and I'm like, and they of course love violent shit and all that, of course, but we all do. But it's just like, but I'm like, that is just such a nasty image that you're just like putting up there. But that's okay. You can do horror live action. You can cut somebody's head off. You can do all kinds of crazy shit, and that's okay. But what you can't do is put a dildo in somebody's head and call him a superhero. Okay, that is illegal. Okay, that is taking it too far. And it's just like, and like in society, we have this just double standard with sex versus violence. And like violence is okay for some reason, and sex is not. And that's just the deal, and it's just like, I don't understand it, and I think it's ridiculous. And like, that's part of the point I think Orgasmo is making, is just like, like sex is should be celebrated and wholesome, and it should be fun, and it's like, you can have definitely negative opinions about porn, especially nowadays, and that kind of stuff. Like, it's changed and all that. You can have all those kind of like thoughts or arguments. But to me, it's just like the difference between the way sex and violence is like regulated and perceived by the mainstream is just totally out of whack. So I just like, that's why I'm pissed off we have never made a sequel to Orgasmo, because I just think it's like great sex comedy. I think is desperately needed, but it's harder to pull off, and yeah, probably part of the reason there's not an Orgasmo sequel is because the movie tanked in the box office everywhere except Utah. In Utah, like, like literally the Tower Theater in Utah, Orgasmo played for 6 months. Full biggest hit they've had there in years. But everywhere else, it was in and out of theaters in a heartbeat. And it didn't become any kind of a hit until it reached like the late night showtime, like the late night cable circuit. And actually, that's kind of like what the genre we were sort of originally kind of making fun of. That's why, like, you never see boobs in Orgasmo, because we thought first, because boobs aren't funny. Okay, it's fucking serious, and and like when boobs come on screens, like, guys they're not laughing. They get serious. They're like, oh, oh shit, you know. And so and then like you know, back in the day, like, you know, you remember like trying, like as a young teen, and you know, you're trying to see more boobs in your life, you'd have to like stay up late to these softcore shows to like see any kind of nudity at all, you know. So we were like, we're gonna fuck with ourselves here, and you know, show you a man's butt every time you think you're gonna see some boobs, because men's butts are fucking funny. So that was our joke to everybody, and then of course that's where it found its legs, was when it finally got to late night cable.